Hello and welcome. I am Scarpetlock, and this is City of Heroes on the Rebirth server. We are doing Iron Man mode. We're going rogue this time. Going to go into Pretoria. No, it's not my favorite zone, but I got to change it up, and we're going to play the Dominator, and he's going to be a loyalist. And so we're going to go ahead and enter the tutorial and exit character creation. And here we go. We are playing Iron Man mode with a Dominator. And we're in Precinct 5, so this is going to be the Praetorian content. My guess is this character will probably never get out of Pretoria. So I'm going to pause it here while I do some rearrangement of the UI and stuff, and then when I've got the UI all set up, I will bring you guys back. We'll talk about the plan for this character, what kind of stuff we're going to do with him, and so on. This is Faceplant. His name was suggested by Kievar to do a plant dominator named Faceplant. So that is what we're doing. I just thought it was too cool of an idea and too hilarious of a name not to do. Has to be done. So I'm going to bring you guys back once I've got all the UI enlarged and so we can read it and get everything set. And then we'll get started on the tutorial. So I'll be right back. Okay, folks, we are back. So let's just take a look. This character is a Plant Thorn Dominator, so we'll take a look at the combat abilities. Plant Control is the primary. This is holds, immobilizations, Seeds of Confusion. Absolutely the best power in this set. You throw it at a group of enemies and they just shoot each other. Now, the disadvantage of this, and this is something Dominators complained about incessantly in live and it was never addressed, is if I come in and I Seeds of Confuse enemies and they shoot each other and kill each other, I don't get any experience for them killing each other. And if they do half damage to each other, I only get half the XP. You get reduced XP, right? You get XP in proportion to how much damage you and your team did. So if you and I are on a team together and you do half the damage and I do half the damage, we get full XP. But if you and I are not on a team together, we're out in the street and I shoot a guy for half his damage and you shoot a guy for half his hit points and you shoot a guy for half his hit points, we each get half the XP. And so basically it's not counting like you did the damage, even though I did do the damage because I made them shoot each other. But it's a super useful ability. You can throw it in a group that's got a boss. It's not going to confuse the boss, but all of his minions will attack him. It's super awesome. There is a storyline. Can't remember if it's villains, heroes. There's a storyline where you're fighting. Maybe villains where you're fighting the legacy chain. And I did this with my Plant Thorn Dominator, and I recorded it in Homecoming, and I couldn't post it because Homecoming banned posting stuff, right? And then I switched to Rebirth. It was around 25th level, and I think I filmed it with Nightmare Lass, and I didn't show it because I couldn't do it with Nightmare Lass. And I don't know if I could have done it with anybody else, but it's like 250 legacy chain, and they come at you like 30 or 40 at a time. And it's wave after wave. And one wave finishes and the next wave starts. It's brutal. Well, with the Dominator, I was able to win that. It wasn't that hard. And the reason was they all came at me in a clump and I just went Seeds of Confusion and like 15 of them got confused and they all started attacking each other and I just teleported away and let them do it and let the Seeds of Confusion recharge. And I think in that mission you get like bonuses to your recharge rate and your 2-hit or something as part of the mission. And so it was recharging really fast. By default, Seeds of Confusion, I don't know, recharges say like every minute and a half or something, and I had it triple SO'd, so it was recharging every 45 seconds, and then like it was recharging so fast that as soon as they got done being confused, whoever was left and came at me, I just confused them again. Now, I didn't get a lot of experience for that mission, but I was able to succeed at it when Nightmare Lass with all her demons couldn't, because there were a bunch of lieutenants and a boss in every spawn, and I just confused them, and now the lieutenants are shooting the boss, and the minions are shooting the lieutenants, and it's great. So if we can get to that level, Seeds of Confusion is going to be our best power, and it might save our butts many times. But first we got to get to that level. Now, this is harder. This is going rogue. It's the Praetorian content. It's tough. Now, one of the first choices you have to make when you're going to be a Dominator is, are you going to take the single target immobilize or the single target hold? And the problem with immobilize is it'll lock a guy down, right? I immobilize this guy. He can't move, but he can still shoot me. Now, the thing is, at low levels, most enemies have weaker ranged attacks than melee attacks, and they do that on purpose so that ranged characters like blasters and corruptors don't get killed all the time, right? Until they can team up with people and get some defenses. Um, so the immobilize does help because they can't. You can back up from them and they can't get you. But the other reason I take it is because Strangler is a very long recharge time, and it doesn't. I don't think it does damage anymore. Maybe they changed it, but originally it does a little bit of smashing damage. But this thing does nice damage. It immobilizes, and it recharges really fast, which Strangler doesn't do. And so when all you've got is your Thorny Darts and one hold, I feel like the Immobilize is superior. Now, we're going to get Strangler right away, probably at second level, so we'll have both. But I always take the Entangle first. I don't know why. It's just what I always do. Okay. So I'm a veteran, and I don't need to go through boot camp again. So where do I need to find Reese? And we're going to go find Reese. So we're going to talk to Reese. So at some point, we're going to be having to decide whether we want to be a loyalist or a resistance. And we did resistance with Tiger Strike, so this guy will be a loyalist. Alright, so what do you have to say here, Reese? You're a new recruit, don't stand around lollygagging. Okay, I'm ready. What do you need me to do? I need you to go to Powers Division and find the recruiter. Okay, so welcome to Pretoria. So these guys are all fighting with each other. So, here's our Entangle. Locks him in place. And then he can shoot us. Oh, he's got a big gun. She can shoot us, Rocket Girl. But she can't melee us, because she's entangled. Right, so if you don't want to be, like, meleeed, and so if you think about, like, for instance, the character that just died in last episode, if he had been able to entangle, and by the way, you can stack this. We'll talk about how this works as we go. If he had been able to immobilize, say, the boss, right, or the boss's pet, we might have been able to back up enough to get out of trouble. So the Dominator has a ranged damage set as a secondary and a hold and control set as a primary. It's quite nice. If you can get into decent levels with it, your holds can lock down enemies, or maybe lock down all but one enemy, and then you can use your attacks to damage and kill the other enemy, and you can actually do quite a lot of damage. And what happens is, it works a little bit like Fury with a Brute, in that as you make attacks, and particularly as you do holds, this domination bar starts to fill up, and when it gets full, then the domination button lights up, and you can hit dominate, and then everything works better. Your holds are more powerful, you do more damage, your holds do more damage, and so on. So we'll talk about more about the mechanics of this as it goes. I'm not going to read all the text and everything because, again, we've done that with our main characters. And do you have to talk to this person again? All right, I'm ready to get moving. What's next? All right, I'm not convinced I'm going to go topside. I don't care about that clockwork. What do we attack it? What's going on here? Break down the door. Yeah, okay. So yeah, the domination. Our boys could use your help. Push through the tunnels to find Wrencher. Not sure where Wrencher is. This way? All these dead bodies, the ghouls. PPD trooper, okay. Don't get in the way. Alright. So now there's a cutscene. Yes, I am going to follow through on my orders. Remain a loyalist. So one of the things you have to worry about as a dominator and a controller is that enemies of different types, and especially of higher ranks, will have resistance to your mez, right? And there are two ways to overcome that. One is to stack it, right? If you this fast recharge helps you do it, where the vines don't recharge fast enough. So if we look here at the entangle, right, it is a 4 magnitude immobilize for 15 seconds. An additional 4 magnitude for 22 seconds when domination is in effect. So that'd be 8 magnitude. But it's 4 magnitude for 15 seconds, but it recharges in 4 seconds. So you put a 4 magnitude immobilize on a guy. If he's got more than 4 resistance, it won't immobilize him. But the effect lasts 15 seconds. So in 4 seconds when this recharges, you can hit him again. And now he's on an 8 magnitude for the next 11 seconds, right? Because the first one has ticked down from 15 to 11. The second one goes in. So at 11 seconds on the first one, the second one goes in, he's on 8, right? So unless he has more than an 8 resistance, he's going to be immobilized. 4 seconds later, the first one has 7 seconds left. The second one has 11. You can throw a third one on him. And for 7 seconds, he's going to have a 12 magnitude immobilize on him. And so that's how you can overcome the resistance of an enemy. And the reason the entangle is good is because it recharges so fast, you can stack it right out of the box without needing to do any recharge enhancers. You don't need to put any recharge enhancers on this power, and I wouldn't. Probably the way I will enhance this is for accuracy and maybe hold duration and damage. But I don't usually enhance it very early. Instead, I try to enhance my attacks and my more powerful holds. Okay, so we've leveled up to 2. We live to level 2, guys. That's going to allow us to get our hold in, and you'll see how that works differently. Right, and that's something like a 4 magnitude hold for a certain period of time, but the recharge is much longer. And I think you can barely stack it, but I don't think you can stack it 2 and 3 and 4 times the way you can with the entangle. So let's go ahead and level up to the next level. So Strangler, and then there's Roots, which is an AoE immobilize. And you got to be careful with that one. You throw that out, and everyone you immobilize is going to turn and attack you immediately because you've aggroed them all, and they'll get an instant counterattack. And it's an easy way to faceplant. Strangler, if we look at detailed info on it, right? Notice we have an 8-second recharge, 12-second hold, right? So you throw it once. After it recharges, there's 4 seconds left. You can throw it again. But it's only a 3 mag. So if the guy has a 6.1 or higher magnitude hold, you cannot stack it more than a second time. You're not going to be able to break it, right? Whereas Entangle, you can get that mag up to 12, even for a few seconds 16 and at least immobilize the guy. That's what I was saying. If we'd had an entangle in the last episode, we would have been able to not hold, but immobilize that boss and run back, right? Or immobilize the pet and run back, right? And if we stack it a couple times and then run back for 10 seconds, they can't come after me, right? And that gives me a chance to recover, to run a heal, whatever. Now, this character doesn't have any heals except the Spirit Tree, which you can put down and it'll increase your regeneration rate. So if you put it down and stand next to it, you're good. But that is the kind of thing where, yeah, that helps a lot on a team. It's really rough to get that to help you that much in, say, a boss fight, because then you can't move around. So it all depends. It's tactically useful. It's situationally useful. Spore Burst does... sleeps. Okay, sleep, not as useful, because most of your holds do damage. It'll wake them up. Most of your attacks do all of your attacks do damage, and there are some AoEs that'll wake them up. So that's a good like panic power to put something to sleep. If you have none of your other powers up, not a priority. So my priorities here: Strangler, Seeds of Confusion, Vines, which is an AoE hold, Carrying Creepers, and Flytrap is a pet. That's level 32, though. We're probably not going to get there. So let's grab Strangler. And now we have our second hold, right? And this is a hold, and this is an immobilize. And they do damage. They do a little damage. They don't do a lot of damage. So what do we got for enhancements here? We have damage enhancers here, and I'm not gonna waste a slot on that. I'd rather put accuracies. So this is the Praetorian version of Back Alley Brawler, who we've met before. I'm going to pause it here for just a moment, and I will be right back. All right, folks, we are back. And he says, Praetor White talks about the Hamadon Wars, and I can handle whatever's thrown at me. And I have an option as a member of the Loyalists to mission on the side of the Resistance. I will not. Play normally, however, at certain points you'll be able to do some other things. We're not going to do that. Okay, we'll do. So does he have a mission? All right. So, Acts of Desperation. The day just gets better. We lost a lot of officers during the Resistance attack. They've taken hostages at the Ministry of Technology. You've got to go and rescue them. So now the question is, what movement power are we going to get for this guy? In the past, I've had a magical Planthorn Dominator, but this character is Mutation. I think this character is probably just going to get Super Jump. I like Super Jump a lot. The other option would be Super Speed. Super Speed's a pretty cool power to use inside missions to get around quickly. And we could get Hasten with it. I think we're just going to go Super Jump, though. I don't know. Maybe we'll do Super Speed. Super Speed's pretty cool. Have to think about it. We're not there yet. And there is the Strangler, right? So now he's held and he can't do anything. And now this guy's going to get entangled. You cannot come up to me, buddy. And I'm going to hold you too. There we go. And we can just keep doing that. And you're not going to be able to attack me, because I'm stacking your holds, and you're stuck. And you can see how helpless he is, right? And that is an awesome ability for Dominators. Now, the difference between Dominators and Controllers is a Controller can hold you like that, but isn't going to be able to do the attack damage. Isn't going to be able to do the attack damage while you're being held. Right? And the nice thing is, if you want a little bit of a respite, you go around the corner, they can't hit you, right? Because they're held, or they're immobilized. Right? And once they're held, they can't do anything. Right? It's a complete hold. It locks them in place. So this character should theoretically do a good deal better than our other characters, or at least better than Lethal Exposure did. because of the ability to hold and lock enemies in place. I mean, another thing you can do once you've got, and I always put the this hold on a recharge. Once you've got it recharging faster, um, one of the things, it doesn't tell us how many hostages. Okay, one of the things you can do is hold multiple guys, right, and alternate between two of them. It's not worth it at this level because they're so weak and they die so quickly. But as you get to higher levels and you're fighting, you know, like a lieutenant and two minions, you can hold two minions while you fight the lieutenant, or double hold the lieutenant while you fight the minions. It's quite nice. This character will absolutely benefit from some stealth too, I think. Right, to be able to stealth in, hit a guy with a hold. So now you're going to see. So here's the second hold. Right, and that held the lieutenant. The other guy's immobilized, not held, but now the lieutenant is held. And now we can stack it. The lieutenant's not going anywhere. And now we have domination. Bam. And now we're going to do more damage. And the holds and everything last that much longer, so he never will get out of it. Because it like adds 50-60%, something like that, to the duration of your hold. 50%, I think. And you do more damage. Super nice. And your character kind of glows while you're dominating. So one trick, right? Shoot him and back up. Now he's at a range, he can't hit me, and then hold the second guy. Whoops, it's the wrong guy. There we go. Hold this guy. Right? This guy can only hit me when I come in to immobilize him, but then I back out. Right? And so he can't shoot me. Then you move in with a hold. He'll get a shot off or two, but that's not enough to do anything to you. Right? For the most part. You can take one or two shots, you just can't take a lot. As you can probably tell, compared to, say, a Corruptor, I know a Dominator a lot better. Right? Again, this is because I got one to 48th level, 43rd level, I think, 44th, something like that. And then I played another one, same thing, Plant Thorns, to 25th level or something on Homecoming before they banned the recordings. And so I'm pretty good with a Dominator, right? He's not going to follow me now. And now he's held. And that's it. He's going to die. He can't get out of it, right? He's locked. So I'm just much more comfortable, I think, with a Dominator than, say, a Guardian or a Corruptor. So we're going to rescue Dr. Tanner. There's no boss or anything up here. I am surprised. Okay. We'll hold one, immobilize the other. Yeah, your biggest problem is misses, and you definitely need to make sure that you have the accuracy. So now we have to defeat the resistance leader who's over there. It's a lieutenant. You definitely want to put accuracy inspirations on both of these powers. So we'll open with a hold, and that should be the end of him. As long as I don't miss the hold, it's stacked. He's basically stun locked, right? He's mez locked. And this is the power of mezes. Controllers are quite great at doing that too, The main problem with controllers is that they don't do any damage in their secondary. Their secondary is buffs and heals and stuff. And so they're good at healing themselves, but it's really slow at doing damage. And you'll see that my plan is, this is the end of our villain archetypes. There are 3 hero archetypes I haven't done. I did a little bit tanker, but I certainly didn't finish it. So tanker, controller, blaster. Right, I've done scrapper and wait a minute. No, tanker, really, tanker, controller, defender, and blaster. I guess we got 4. So at some point we'll do controller, and you'll see the difference. And if I'm going to do control, I much prefer dominators because they can do damage. You can be very aggressive with a dominator, much the way you can be very aggressive with a scrapper. Once you've got your holds set up, and you may not see it with this character because you can't be that aggressive at low levels, although you can see I was much more aggressive with this character than I was with... There's no pulling. You don't need to pull with a character like this, right? Your pull is you throw an entangle down and you back up, and the other 2 guys come and you throw another entangle down and you back up, and now 2 guys are out of range. One guy comes up, you hold him and you shred him, and then when the next guy comes in, you hold him and shred him, and you just crush. And so it's a much more aggressive play style. It's one of the reasons why I like it way better than a controller. Okay, part 2 is Calvin Scott is still at large. Find Officer Tepp. He's the one who retreated back into communication range when he radioed the power division for help. How are we doing on time? Let's go ahead and do one more mission. I'm having a ball with this character. So our previous characters, so just to keep in mind, to get to level 12, we'll beat our Corruptor, and level 19, well, get to 13 beats the Corruptor, and getting to level 20 beats the Guardian, and would then be our highest. So right now our Guardian at level 19 is our highest level Iron Man. A little bit of an asterisk footnote there. I didn't have it set to bosses. In fact, I need to do that with this character as well. I will do that. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to bring you to that spot, and we will do it so that you can see proof that I've got it done. This is sort of tutorial stuff, so it doesn't really matter. They wouldn't give you bosses at level 4 or 2. But once we get past this contact, we definitely want to have bosses. So let me show you what I mean. Entangle, back up. Right? So now that guy could shoot me if he weren't entangled, but I'm too far for him to shoot. So he just has to stand there. And by the time the entangle's up, I've already beaten his partner. Now, of course, we've leveled up, so it doesn't matter, but that's how you do it. So it's more of an aggressive style of pulling than you would have with, say, a Corruptor or a Blaster. So there's the Lieutenant. So here what I'm going to do is entangle the Lieutenant, back up, right? And now these guys are going to come at me. And while the Lieutenant is back there, not able to attack me, right, I'm going to pound these guys. Only one of them came. That's alright. You're entangled again, and now you're held. And then I'll just... Oh, he's a hostage. I thought he was one of the other enemies. Okay, that's why only one came. Gonna come with me? One really nice thing about Dominators is that they're... And now, why did I do that? I want Domination, and then we're going to get the Lieutenant. And he's locked now. One nice thing about Dominators is both their holds and their range attacks are attack powers. So you get a lot of attacks right from the beginning. So, like, our attack cycle is already finished. We don't even really need this mutagen. And as soon as we get to 4th level, and we get the ability to... as soon as we get to 4th level and we get the ability to get another attack, we'll have an insane attack chain. It's just going to be so awesome. So one last PPD officer and rescue Sergeant Hastings. Is that a dead end? Looks like it. So we gotta go this way. So we won't even need that mutagen after 4th level, because nearly everything we do is some sort of an attack, whether a hold or a ranged blast. Again, that's one of the things I love about Dominators is they're super aggressive. Almost always doing damage. And when we get Seeds of Confusion, you just come in and blam. And you know, now that I think about it, I actually might want to get Teleport for this character. Because one of the things I used to do with my Plant Thorn Dominator in the past is... so the way I would do it is I would queue up Seeds of Confusion from too far away, and then I would teleport in, and as soon as I teleported in, boom, Seeds of Confusion, and everybody starts attacking each other. They might get a shot or two at you, but you end up doing a lot of damage, and it works really well. So I think we might get Teleport for this character. Probably level 6. I want to get one more attack before we get Teleport. Yeah, I think we are going to get Teleport, now that I think about it. Now that I remember how I used to use it. It's just too good not to do. And you can completely stun lock an enemy, which is super nice. It's a hold lock, right? But basically you completely lock them in mez. That's another dead end. I don't know where the other guy is to rescue. We'll hold that guy and then we'll attack these two. I'm being pretty cavalier with this in part because we've got these guys with us, so they'll help us out. And basically completely eliminate one mob from the battle just with the hold. It's almost like doing an assassin strike with a stalker, right? Because he's completely eliminated. There's nobody down there either. That looks like a dead end. We're not really here to defeat all. Domination's ready again, but we're not going to use that yet. We should be able to keep it up by just continually attacking. It is a bit of a waste if you go too long with it active, because you could have used it and had it recharge again. One thing I definitely want is there is a cone AoE in plant in Thorny Assault, and I definitely want that. So where the heck are we going here? These are all dead ends. Huh. And that's a dead end also. You guys lose me? I guess. Oh, is there a door over here? You'll see I do a lot of target switching with a Plant Thorn Dominator. Okay, I've obviously missed something. but I have no idea what. These are all dead ends. I don't want to go down into them because my guys won't be able to come back. They'll get stuck. I don't know what I missed. I'm not going to worry about those guys for the moment because I got to figure out where I'm going here. Nope. Alright guys, I'm going to pause it here, and when I figure out where to go, I'll bring you back. Alright, there was another little offshoot over here that I didn't see. By the way, I lost domination while I was running around. That's why it's to some degree maybe not worth saving it. It just feels silly to use it on blue cons. You can see that we leveled up to 3, we're almost up to level 4. Alright, let's just go ahead and use it. You try to attack me, have a hold. Have another hold. Yeah, we're probably going to hit level 4 in this mission. We got 4 cops with us now. Another dead end. Oh, ambush. Oh, we have to get him out now. Okay. Alright, guys. Out we go. Ambushes also will not work super great on this character once we have our Seeds of Confusion, for instance. You can just confuse them. Or our AoE holds and entangles. You can AoE entangle them and run away. Yeah, Dominators are awesome. You guys coming? Because he can't figure out how to get over here, and he's the guy I have to lead out. This is just so stupid. Yeah, leading guys out, as I've said many times before, is just badly done in this game. It's so frustrating to deal with the stupidity of the NPC you're trying to lead out. We're almost certainly going to level when we complete this mission. If not, we're going to be so close. We're just going to be like a quarter of a beat away or something. Just trying to make sure the guy that we're supposed to lead out here. Is it Hastings? Where is he? There he is. Just got to make sure that we're able to lead him out. The others don't matter, but he has to come out. I don't care about any of the others, just Hastings. But you see how frustrating and annoying this is, where you go a little bit, then you have to wait for them to catch up to you because they're so stupid. And if you keep going, like already 2 of the 4 are lost just coming up the stairs. And they put all these like ridiculous twists and turns and switchbacks in here, which are perfect ways for the NPCs to get lost. And so the challenge isn't defeating the enemy, it's just getting this freaking NPC to follow you. Come on. Alright. Yep, so, well, we still got another little, just over a beat. Let's call our contact, and then we're going to go level up to level 3, and then we'll stop this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed our Dominator, one of my favorite archetypes. So let's go to Praetor Duncan, the evil version of Miss Liberty, or the Praetorian version, I guess, of Miss Liberty. I don't know if it's actually evil, but kind of. Train up to level 3. And we're definitely going to up Thorny Darts, and we're going to up Strangler for now. And there we go. Alright, guys. That's the end of this episode. Our new Iron Man character is Faceplant. And we'll go until he faceplants. Until next time, I am Scrapperlock. And this has been City of Heroes Going Rogue Iron Man mode on the Rebirth server.